You've been praying. You've been waiting. You've been obedient, even when it didn't make sense. You've watched others rise, others get blessed, others move forward, while you've stayed hidden, faithful, and wondering, God, when is it my time? Well, hear this loud and clear. Your time is now. The heavens have been watching. The angels have been dispatched, and God is saying, I'm about to release kingdom wealth, but only to those I trust. And if you're listening to this, it's because you're one of them. This isn't just about money. This is about divine resources, open doors, strategic connections, favor that doesn't make sense, and the kind of abundance that doesn't just bless your life. It blesses generations. But before it comes, God had to prepare you. That's why you were stripped. That's why certain people walked away. That's why you went through seasons of drought. Because kingdom wealth isn't for the undisciplined. It's not for the arrogant. It's not for those who forget where it came from. It's for the faithful, the humble, the pure in heart. You didn't fold when you could have. You didn't curse God when everything fell apart. You didn't compromise when temptation knocked. You didn't sell your soul for a shortcut. You stayed the course, even when you were tired, even when you had nothing left, even when no one clapped for you. And that's exactly why heaven is moving on your behalf. You didn't just pray. You trusted. You didn't just survive. You grew. You learned how to worship in the wilderness, how to stand in silence when God was quiet. And that broke something in the spirit. Because real wealth starts in the soul. See, the world chases riches, but God releases wealth with purpose. Wealth that comes with peace. Wealth that funds missions. Wealth that breaks generational curses. Wealth that changes atmospheres when you walk in the room. And for that, He needed to make sure your heart was pure. He needed to humble you before He elevated you. He needed you to learn that man is not your provider. He is. So if you've been hidden, overlooked, underestimated, it's because God was setting you apart. He wasn't punishing you. He was protecting you from premature exposure. Because kingdom wealth isn't handed out casually. It's entrusted. And chosen ones like you. You're about to be entrusted with more than just material things. You're about to walk in supernatural favor. You're about to receive divine blueprints. You're about to meet people who were sent, not by coincidence, but by assignment. The kind of people who carry answers to your prayers. The kind of people who won't use you. They'll partner with you. And when it comes, it'll happen fast. Suddenly. Unexpectedly. The same people who look down on you will be shocked. The ones who questioned your silence will be speechless. Because when God elevates you, nobody can stop it. But listen, this isn't the time to shrink. This isn't the time to apologize for your calling. This is the time to rise. Don't be afraid to walk through the door when it opens. Don't let past wounds convince you you're not worthy. Don't let the voice of the enemy convince you you're not ready. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. You are not stepping into this alone. Heaven is backing you. Angels are assigned to you. Divine strategy is being downloaded into your spirit even now. God is not just blessing you for you. He's blessing you because He knows you'll pour it back into the kingdom. Because you'll feed the hungry, clothe the broken, fund visions, build what others only dreamed of. You are a vessel, a conduit, a kingdom financier in the making. And that's why the warfare was so intense. That's why the enemy tried to shut you down. Because the devil knows what happens when a chosen one gets access to resources. You become unstoppable. But what the enemy forgot is that you don't work for man. You work for heaven. You don't beg. You command through faith. You don't panic. You praise. You don't wait for validation. You already carry divine authorization. And your praise has built a runway for the blessing to land. The wait wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You're not late. You're right on time. Because now, you don't idolize the money. You understand the mission. You know it's not about the car, the house, or the title. It's about being equipped to change lives. to answer prayers, to lift others out of bondage, to fund purpose, to activate vision. This is what the drought taught you, to value the water. This is what the silence taught you, to treasure the voice of God. This is what the isolation did. It trained your spirit to depend on no one but Him. And now, you're ready. God is releasing kingdom wealth, not to inflate your ego, but to establish His will on earth. Not to make you flashy, but to make you effective. Not to make you popular, but to make you powerful. You didn't miss your moment. Your moment has been marinating in heaven, and it's ripe. Are you ready? Are you positioned? Are you willing to carry the weight of this blessing with humility and power? Because it's coming. And when it hits, your life will never be the same. People won't recognize you, and they're not supposed to. Because this version of you has been refined by fire. You've been tried. You've been tested. And now, you've been approved. You are not just stepping into wealth. You are stepping into legacy. And this is just the beginning. Everything you went through is shaping you for this moment. The betrayal, the lack, the loneliness, the closed doors, the rejection, even the things you never told anyone about, the things that made you cry in silence, wondering if God had forgotten you. All of it was preparing you to carry what most people would fumble. You see, kingdom wealth isn't for everyone. It's heavy. It carries responsibility. It shifts atmospheres and funds movements. It's not handed to the loudest. It's entrusted to the most surrendered. You've been surrendering, quietly, day by day, hour by hour. Even when you didn't have the strength, you whispered, "God, I still trust you." That whisper reached the throne. That tear sowed a seed. That pain became the pressure that refined your oil. And now, you're not just another name in the crowd. You're anointed. You're marked. You've been processed by fire, and God is saying, "Now I can trust you with the overflow." The overflow that's coming isn't for your comfort. It's for His covenant. The money, the land, the platforms, the connections, they're not the reward. Obedience was the reward. The true reward is the authority you've developed in secret, the power you've built when no one was watching, the intimacy with God that can't be bought. But because you honored Him with little, He's about to entrust you with much. That's why certain relationships couldn't go with you. That's why you lost people you thought were forever. That's why you kept getting pulled back when you tried to move with the crowd. Because you weren't called to blend. You were called to build. God has been stretching your capacity, training your discernment, teaching you when to move and when to wait. And now that you've learned the difference between a good idea and a God idea, you're finally ready for the release. Heaven is about to finance the assignment on your life. Divine investors are coming. Opportunities you didn't apply for. Rooms you didn't ask to be in. But they'll call your name because the anointing on your life speaks louder than any resume ever could. And here's the wild part. You won't have to fight for it. You won't have to force it. God is going to command the blessing to find you. You're about to step into a season where blessings chase you down, where favor tracks your every move, where everything you touch multiplies. But don't forget who you are when it starts to pour. Don't lose the fire just because you're no longer in the wilderness. Remember the nights you didn't eat, the days you couldn't pay your bills, the moments you had to worship with tears in your eyes. Because those moments gave you your spiritual backbone. They taught you to lean not on your own understanding. They trained you to lead with compassion. They built a spiritual authority in you that money can't fabricate. And now you're dangerous. Not because of your net worth, but because of your heavenly backing. You walk into rooms not trying to impress, but to shift atmospheres. You don't speak to be heard. You speak because your words are assigned. This is why the devil tried so hard to break you. He wasn't just trying to ruin your life. He was trying to stop a kingdom movement. He saw what you'd become if you ever realized who you really are. But guess what? It backfired. Because now you're more aware. Now you're more hungry. Now you know the cost of disobedience. You've seen too much to go back. You've felt too much to stay silent. You've been through too much to settle for average. You are God's answer to someone else's prayer. You are the vessel through which divine supply is going to flow. You are the walking evidence that God still raises up the rejected. And here's the confirmation you've been waiting for. The delay was divine. The wait wasn't a punishment, it was a setup. God didn't say no, He said, not yet. And now, it's time. Don't be surprised when the floodgates open. Don't second-guess the overflow. You've already paid for it in obedience. You've already labored in the Spirit. And now, it's harvest time. God is aligning your name with favor. He's attaching your purpose to provision. He's turning your pain into platforms. And He's connecting your obedience to generational outpouring. But you must stay grounded. You must remain submitted, because what's coming will be too powerful for pride to survive.